Welcome back.
So welcome back. So today we are going to make a mulberry pie. So we went out and we found a mulberry tree near our house. So we went ahead and picked some mulberries, molded an idea of what to make, and we came up with a mulberry pie. And thought it would be great for a video. So we're going to go ahead and use them to make a mulberry pie. So before we get started, here's a little joke for you. Why did the pie go to the dentist? Because it needed filling. Ha ha. All right, terrible, terrible. All right, so without further ado, let's get cooking.
Let's get cooking.
So to start, what we're going to do is we're going to process together 2½ cups of flour and 1½ cups of butter, or 3 sticks of butter. Then we're just going to pulse this together until it forms a nice clumps. So next what we're going to do is we're going to add ½ cup of ice cold water. We're going to add this a tablespoon at a time. And as we add this, what we're going to do is we're just going to keep stirring just to try to get that water incorporated all over. Basically, we're going to keep adding this water until this dough forms a nice ball that is fairly clumpy. Now that we have our dough, we're going to lay out some cling wrap, divide our dough in half, and wrap each of these halves individually in cling wrap. We're then going to throw this in the fridge overnight to ensure that the butter inside the dough is cool, so that when we roll it out the next day, we have more time before it starts melting on us. If you don't want to refrigerate it overnight or don't have time, at least throw it in the freezer for about 30 minutes just to get that butter cool before you start working with it. So next what we're going to do is we're going to make the pie filling. So we're going to start off with 4 cups of mulberries, ½ cup of flour, cup of sugar. While she mixes that up, I'm going to zest an orange. And make sure to get the outer layer of the orange and not the actual white part. If that part's tart, you just want the outer layer, which is the most flavorful. And there we have the pie filling. Next what we're going to do is we're going to unwrap our pie crust. Gently flour the actual surface that we're going to roll this out on. Then take our pie crust, put it down, and then roll it out. And you just want to kind of roll this dough out into a circle. Once you get it nice and rolled out, just make sure you have enough to cover the base of the pie pan. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift this guy up. Then we're just going to lay this gently on top. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of push this all together in the actual pie pan itself, since it did fall apart. This may happen, no worries. Just kind of try to repair it best you can in the actual pie pan itself. Then we're just going to kind of go around the edge, lift it up a little bit just so we can get some whatever crust on top, just for appearance sake. All right, so there we have our main crust. We have a little bit of edge. The other thing you can do if you didn't want an edge like this, you can actually take a fork and just kind of press down around the edges to also give it kind of a cool look. So now that we have that, what we're going to do is we're going to take our filling and we're going to dump that into our pie. Spread that out nice and even. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our other pie crust and we're going to roll this out.
What's his name, a guy? He doesn't the pie.
So what we're going for here is we're going for more of a rectangle shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut strips and just kind of lace the pie together. You can just overlay this on top if you want. However, I would highly recommend you cut holes in the top for steam to escape. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a soggy bottom. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to lay this on top. As we lay this on top, what we're going to do is we're going to lift up every other one just so we get that nice cross look. And then for the next one apart, what we're going to do is we're going to do the opposite ones. So we're going to lift up the opposite ones that we did the last time. So once you have your laces done, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of pinch it into the crust at the top, and then we're just going to cut off the excess. All right, and there we have our pie. So what we're going to do next is we're going to stick this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn the heat down to 350 and then cook for another 30 minutes. All right, so before you throw the scraps away, what you can do is you can actually make a delicious dessert out of them. So what we're going to do is we're just going to sprinkle this with some cinnamon, kind of toss it in. And then we're also going to take pinches of sugar and we're going to toss that in as well. And we're just going to coat these in both the cinnamon and the sugar. Then so once you get everyone coated in a nice good layer of cinnamon and sugar, what we're going to do is we're just going to throw these into a pan. So then we're just going to bake these guys in the pie for about 10 minutes or until the crust itself is hardened. All right, so there we have our mulberry pie. So without further ado, let's get tasting. You want to first bite? How is it, Elle?
Good.
I would say that's absolutely delicious. I would say the orange pairs very well with the mulberries. It just brings out more of a citrusy flavor that you get with the orange, just because the mulberries themselves don't have as much flavor as most berries do. So it just kind of helps bring out more flavor. Overall, I think it's absolutely delicious. What do you think?
Oh yeah, the orange just punches right through. It's really good.
Good.
I like it a lot.
All right, so now that we tried the pie, let's try the little cinnamon sugar nuggets. Would you like to try one, Elle?
Remember those cinnamon twists from Taco Bell?
Yeah.
They're kind of like that, but with like a pie crust instead of like a crunchy crust.
So with an actual dough instead
Yeah,
of
with an
just,
actual dough.
fried air, essentially. But yeah, they're absolutely delicious. I don't know a better way to use up the rest of the pie dough. If you know a better way, please let us know in the comments down below. We'd love to hear. With that being said, if you like this video, hit that like button down below. If you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified every time we make a new video. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Goodbye.